Song of Horror. What a huge disappointment for me. Let's just start with that. Yeah, a couple of days ago I got myself finally playing Song of Horror, which you have seen earlier in my videos. That game was one of my most anticipated indie horror games, or horror games in general, for this year. And yeah, huge disappointment. First of all, I gotta say, I didn't finish the game. Nowhere near I finished the game, and I'm going to tell you why. This is a kind of rant, kind of mini review. Mini review because this is not a full review. I don't give this a, review rating because I didn't finish the game. But yeah, where do I start? Well, like I said, this was one of my most anticipated horror games for this year. And the game had really, it promised a lot, let's just say that. It promised a lot, but delivered so little in the end. And it hasn't got that good reviews in the first place. Okay, some good reviews, but also some terrible reviews. Like Push Square gave it a 4 out of 10. And my opinion goes, I can relate to that score much more than, say, 8 out of 10. Well, first, this game was really tedious, frustrating, irritating, very poor choices in gameplay. Like I said, this promised a lot. The ideas behind the game were quite promising, but just so poorly executed. I mean, the gameplay choices were just plain poor. Okay, so you first play the prologue with a man called, I think, Daniel or something. I don't care what his name was, but you go to the mansion in look for a well-known author and, I think, doctor or something that went missing on his house, I think. And you go to the house, look for him, you get to the basement, you get trapped in a basement, then the prologue ends and the first chapter or episode begins, where you go, you can choose from 4 characters. Choose who will go to find out what happened to this Daniel character who went to the house and disappeared. So you have 2 females and 2 male characters to choose from in the first episode. And I didn't play the other episodes, but what I have heard, there are many more characters in the further episodes. But yeah, so you choose a character who goes to look for that Daniel character to the same house, of course. And there in the house you solve puzzles. you search for items, the basic shit. There isn't really combat in the game, but there are, of course, dangers, and you can die. And this dying thing is really a big part of this disappointment and just frustrating thing in the game. So once in a while you get attacked by this dark presence. So it's not exactly a monster, but it's a dark presence. So it can attack you anytime during the episode where you search the mansion, and that triggers mini games, quick time events that I personally don't have anything against, but so it can attack you at any time when you are in some room, that all of a sudden the dark presence tries to get into your room from the door. So it tries to ram through the door and just get you. So you need to try and shut that door down by playing this quick time event. That isn't that hard, but yeah, if you fail in that minigame, it's an instant death. And yeah, that's really frustrating. Also, the other, sometimes the presence can kind of follow you, so you need to chase you. So you need to find a hiding place, and once you get to the and you have a time limit for that, but the game doesn't tell you how much time you have before you again insta death. So you have to get in time to the hiding spot, but there starts a new quick time event where there are ghosts that try to get you and kill you. You have to focus on your heartbeat, so you have to press L2 and R2 in a rhythm of your heartbeat. And if you fail that, again, it's insta-death and you lose that character. And that is so frustrating. And, in a traditional game, if you die, you get to continue from the last checkpoint, right? But here, you have 4 different characters, and there may be even, more characters to choose from in the later episodes, but I only played the first episode and there was 4 characters. So you so you have 4 lives. So you have 4 lives. And if one character dies, you get to choose another character out of the 4, and you will go to that house again, and where that previous character died, you get to get his or her equipment that you collected so far. So you get her on his stash so you can pretty much continue the point where he or she died. But yeah, if all 4 characters dies, you have to restart the whole episode from the start. So Like no, in no like in traditional games, if you die, you can continue from the last checkpoint. But here, you have 4 characters. If everyone dies, it's all over again, the whole episodes. And those episodes can be quite long. So, yeah, it's just so tedious and frustrating. And these insta deaths. And there's more. So, if that wasn't enough for you to, think that, oh, very frustrating, irritating gameplay decisions made. I'll give a couple of examples. So I was in a room, and all of a sudden, that dark presence tried to get in the room, and I was able to shut the door and be free from the dark. So I thought the dark presence actually disappeared because I beat the mini game, the quick time event. I waited a couple of seconds, and there's also now I have to say there's an option to listen through the door to the other room if you hear sounds. If you don't hear anything, it's safe to enter. But yeah, I thought that I beat the quick time event and the dark presence disappeared. I opened the door and the dark presence was there grabbing me, and I died. Like insta death again. Like these cheap ass gameplay decisions really ruins the game. And in second example, I was in a bathroom, and there was a bathtub filled with water. Okay, kind of dangerous looking water, not like water, but somewhere like filth, just filthy mud or just filthy water, dirty water. So there was an option: will you reach for the bottom of the bathtub filled with water, yes or no? So of course I thought, okay, this might be another cheap ass, insta death. But then I go, okay, well, maybe not this time. But I was wrong. So I chose yes to reach it. So I reach my arm to the bottom of the bathtub, and the fucking dark presence grabs me, and again I'm dead. Like, oh fucking hell. Really? I mean, and yeah, if all 4 characters dies, it's all over again. And yeah, of course you can guess what happened to me. All my 4 characters died, and I just had it. I gave up. I thought, okay, this is not worth it. So frustrating, so fucking tedious. Like, the game promised a lot, but yeah, very poor executions. But let's just, in the end, before I wrap up this video, there are some good things in the game. Let's not forget some positive things. So, I would say the audio, the soundscape is pretty good. There are a lot of ambient sounds scary footsteps, crying, just some scary, frightening sounds coming from, and it kind of plays with your mind, with your sanity. Uh, and sometimes they don't mean anything. So it doesn't mean if you hear something, uh, something, horrifying, it doesn't mean the dark presence will attack you. It may, but it may not. So the sound audio side of the game is probably the best thing in this game. And also, while the graphics on technical side of things aren't that special, I really like the graphics. They have quite nice detail to them, very detailed graphics, and just the level design, or I should say the design of the mansion house, was pretty good. And also the atmosphere of the game was pretty good, and the game managed to be okay, not super scary, but at some points it was it had some scary moments for sure. But yeah, I mean, that's about it really. So there's much more negative things to say of this game than positive, in my opinion. This is of course only my opinion, but yeah, I find this game just so tedious, frustrating, and yeah, the puzzles, while most of them quite logical, that's a good thing, but there were some very challenging puzzles in a wrong way, not very logical, just stupid puzzles, couple of really stupid puzzles, I would say. But yeah, enough of this. So like I said, I'm not giving rating because I didn't finish the game. I only played it about 1/5 of the game or something. I think there are 4 or 5 episodes. I think I was very at the end of the first episode, and then I just decided to quit. Like, I give up. I'm done. I'm done with this game. And it's pretty sure I won't ever touch this game again, unfortunately. I'm really sad to see that this promising game didn't deliver and was a huge disappointment. And in top of that, it was quite expensive. I paid 40 euros for a game that wasn't really fun, like so tedious and not worth playing, right? Okay, so at least there's one game I have played, and I did my first impression video on that, and it was Tormented Souls, another indie horror game of this year, and I already know that game will not disappoint me, because I have played it, the demo. I haven't started the full game yet, but I will very soon, I think. But yeah, Song of Horror, really sad to say, not a good game in my opinion. So, see you in the next video. Bye.